Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Beyond the Zodiac Astrology Coffee Talk. If you are new to me and new to this channel, my name is Brett, and I'm an astrologer, tarot reader, educator, herbalist. And I am here to motivate you and guide you and make this as fun of an experience as humanly possible through the lens of modern, evolutionary, and slightly esoteric astrology that is 100% practical and sassy. Welcome to the October monthly forecast. This month's astrology is full of transformation with the solar eclipse and a full moon that is sure to pack a little bit of a punch. So whether you're an astrology lover or just curious about what's in store, this episode will help you navigate October's energy with insight, intention, and purpose. So we are going to be talking a little bit more about the solar eclipse on October 2nd, and we're also going to navigate through some of the other planetary shifts that I think are important. I'm also going to share my thoughts for each sign in a monthly horoscope. Now let's dive right in, because this month starts off with a bang. It's eclipse time. So we're starting off on October 2nd with a solar eclipse. And it is a south node solar eclipse. It is all about renewal and reevaluation, and you are going to see shifts in your relationship and your self-awareness. So this eclipse is going to be at 10 degrees of Libra, and it's going to occur around 1:49 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a south node eclipse, which means that whilst solar eclipses are great for bringing opportunities, opening doors, turning up the volume, and changing your absolute ever-loving vibration, sometimes you have to do it by taking something away or surrendering, which is kind of the caveat with the south node eclipse. You gain by giving up. And so this is going to be a challenging time in this eclipse cycle. This is almost to the end of it. We're at eclipse 5 out of 6 for the Aries Libra eclipses. So we are coming to the end of an 18-month cycle that began, began about a year and a half ago. So we're coming to the end of that cycle. So this is the time of any eclipse story that involves tying up the loose ends. And this particular eclipse is conjunct Mercury. And a solar eclipse that's conjunct Mercury sometimes has the tendency to reveal some secrets and some information that may have been swept under the rug at one time. So what we're going to see is a lot of information and secrets coming to the surface so that it will help us tie up those loose ends in our relationships. Now, remember, we were talking about earlier that the Aries Libra eclipse cycle is about the interplay between our independence and our codependence. So it is about relationships, and it's how we have created unhealthy attachments that we're now releasing. So on a collective level, you are going to see allegiances changing. You are going to see information coming to the surface that will change your perspective on something. A solar eclipse is when the moon gets in the way of the sun's rays and it shuts it off for a brief period of time. In that time, it adjusts the frequency. So when the eclipse is over, we're going to see things different. Now, I think on a collective level, especially in the US, this is going to be a really interesting time because as this eclipse is going to be revealing some secrets and bringing to the surface things that we may not have been paying attention to, or we may not have wanted to see. Sometimes eclipses have a way of shoving it in your face in a really bold way. this is also election season. So as the election is getting ready to happen in November, I suspect that we're going to see a lot of information on both sides coming to the surface that we probably were not expecting. I did look at the charts of all of the candidates, both presidential and vice presidential on both sides, just to see where that eclipse was going to be landing for them. I don't necessarily talk about politics, but I do look at it just out of curiosity. So I think there are going to be some stories that are revealed that we may not have known. Eclipse conjunct Mercury can bring a truth out of a falsehood. So I definitely think we are going to be having a lot of that over the next 6 months. Each eclipse has about a 6-month window that it takes effect, because this is kind of like a new moon pumped up a few notches. If you would take a new moon and add a good subwoofer to it and just crank some ludicrous, that's an eclipse. So I think we are going to see things changing. Each candidate had an aspect that revealed truth in some way, shape, or form, be it through debate, be it through the media, and be it through the public. It was very interesting to see that each one of them had a story that was going to be revealed to the public. So I definitely think that that's something that we all should watch. Grab your popcorn, because the mudslinging is entertaining. And I definitely think it's going to be very eye-opening, I think, on both sides. And we're going to see the candidates in a different light after the eclipse. And so I definitely think this election season is incredibly important. No matter what side of the fence you're on, be on a side of the fence. And I think after this eclipse, you will definitely be picking your side of that fence based off of what you're hearing or seeing. Because I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot that we weren't expecting. We are also, I think, going to lose the illusion in some way, shape, or form. So also on a collective level, you are going to see allegiances change. So over the next 6 months, I think we can definitely expect to see a lot of new allegiances forming that could be beneficial on both sides. So I do think it's going to be very important to watch and be proactive and be an active participant from a collective experience. I think we all have to be active participants in our own life. And this is the time where we need to be present and we need to be aware of what's going on. So I think if you are into astrology, you've already been paying attention to the transits that are coming. So I think this is the time to make those choices. And as we're coming to the end of this eclipse cycle, this is challenging you to step into that almost uncomfortable Aries North node, which is about going your own way, making your own decision, breaking unhealthy attachments, breaking those codependencies. So I think on a personal level, we're going to be focusing on that whilst being active participants in the collective. So it's really exciting times. These are very almost revolutionary times, as we're looking at the last time one of the planets is going to be in a sign in our lifetime. So we're looking at Pluto later this month going direct in Capricorn at 29 degrees. That's an anaretic degree. It's between one sign and the next. There's tension there. There's a lot of tension, and it's revolutionary tension. So looking at some of the other transits that are happening this month that are we definitely have Mars entering into its shadow period on the 4th. So Mars is in Cancer right now, and so you are going to feel wherever Cancer lies in your chart. We are going to talk about that during the horoscopes later. But wherever Mars in Cancer lies in your chart, you are going to feel a little bit of tension and things slowing down and the energy just not there as much as it was in the past. And that's slowing down on October 4th. I'm stationed retrograde in December, and it will continue its retrograde until about February of next year. Mars in Cancer is all about the energy of fighting for security. And so sometimes when the planet of action, forward movement, decides to move backwards once every 2 years, it can cause a little bit of frustration. And it can cause issues of our own security coming back up. And it's like any mother animal protecting her young. I think we're definitely going to have to reevaluate how we protect our young and protect ourselves. So I think that that's going to be a very interesting time. So you are going to notice the energy slowing down a touch, but that's just normal. It's a gradual slowdown process. Mars does not move that fast. So it's going to take a while for it to actually stop. So if you are looking to make any forward movement, now would be the time to do that last ditch effort. Expect a little bit of delay, or expect a little bit of you have to go forward and then come back just a touch and then push forward, because Mars in that shadow period sometimes has a push-pull kind of an effect. Moving along to October 9th, Jupiter in Gemini stations retrograde at about 2:04 a.m. at 21 degrees of Gemini. So the planet of growth, expansion, spiritual pursuits, and the great guru of the universe is going retrograde. It's not as bad as you think. It just means that you will have to put the excess work into things, and things aren't going to come as naturally to you during this time. So Jupiter retrogrades are generally not that bad, and especially Jupiter in Gemini. And then Jupiter will stay retrograde until about mid-February of 2025. I believe it's somewhere around February 25th that Jupiter will stay in retrograde before it stations direct again. So if you've had Jupiter going through your first house or over your ascendant, and you ended up expanding, now is actually the best time to expand inward. So if you are a Gemini rising, you definitely have the opportunity to focus on the spiritual pursuits and the meditation and get yourself back to where you need to be. Because Jupiter does have this natural knack to expand the physical body. If you've never experienced a Jupiter transit in your first house or over your ascendant, you can't help it. It's temporary and then it goes away. So definitely this is one of those times where if that has happened, you can correct that and you can focus your energy inward on spiritual pursuits instead of the outward expansion. So this really with Jupiter and Gemini is about expanding your mind, and it's about expanding your connection to the divine, because Jupiter is all about expansion and transcendence. And with it being in the air sign of Gemini, expand your mind. Place your focus and emphasis on expanding your mind, getting the information. If there's something that you need to learn, or if there's something that you need to ascertain and process, now is going to be the time to get that. And then focus on that until about mid-February. And if you are planning to do any kind of release on anything, plan those releases, especially if you're a business owner, plan those releases for March 1st. Because that's when both Mars and Jupiter will be out of retrograde. Moving on to the 11th, when Pluto stations direct at 7:31 p.m. at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Now remember, that is an anaretic degree, so there is a degree of tension there. And now Pluto in Aquarius is all about innovation and advancement and technology and society as a whole. When it moves back into Capricorn, it gains that final bit of structure. And it gains that final bit of regulation. And it gains that final bit of boundary. So Capricorns have really been going through it for the past 18 to 20 years, with Pluto being in their sign, entering around 2008. And finally, this year, Pluto will leave your sign for good. This was the last time that Pluto in our lifetime was going to venture back into Capricorn. So this is all about like finances, achievement, career, growth, all of that stuff. Wherever Capricorn is in your chart is where you've been experiencing the most transformation. Some of it painful, some of it not. Some of it really great, some of it not so much. Now, if you have a sun in Capricorn, you've experienced an entire transformation of your person and your psyche and your deepest, innermost working. So this is your opportunity to actualize that and learn from it and grow from it. Because Pluto going back into Aquarius later this year is going to be about separating from the individual and looking at the needs of the many. So that's why innovation is so important. So I definitely feel like when Pluto is finally in Aquarius, I do think that where we're at with AI is definitely going to be growing. And I think that it's definitely going to be changing. And I also think that there's going to be advancements in aerospace and medical advancements as well. Innovation all around. And I think especially this year going into next year, I think we are going to see some medical advancements, especially with Saturn still in Pisces. I definitely feel like advancement is coming there as well. I definitely feel like there's going to be a restructure of a lot of those systems. So now, being at 29 degrees of Capricorn and edging into Aquarius, there may be some tension there. You may still be putting the pieces together after Pluto has already knocked it down. So this really is a moment where we need to take the phoenix and make it rise from the ashes, because that is what a 29-degree Pluto is going to do. It is going to take whatever structure it destroyed, and it's going to rise like a phoenix. So this is our moment to rise and to rise to great heights and embrace innovation and embrace change and let go of some of the Saturnian concepts of Capricorn. Let go of some of the control, which keeps the singular safe, and start focusing on society as a whole. So I definitely think with Pluto and Aquarius, we are going to be shifting to a lot more of a global perspective. So this is going to be a very interesting time, and it's going to be very interesting to see what final remnants of Capricorn are going to be present for the next couple of months. Pluto doesn't fully enter into Aquarius until later this year, so we still have a couple of months to see where is that structure still crumbling. I think it's going to be very interesting to see on a collective level, especially with banks, financial institutions, and large corporations. So this is definitely something that I think we all should pay attention to as well. And with the nodal axis being in Aries and Libra, we are kind of getting away from partnerships and moving more into the singularity of things. It's no longer about the mega mall. It's now about the individual producer. And that's why I think we see such a large rise in sites like Etsy and all of those t-shirt producers like Redbubble and even Amazon for makers, because Capricorn is the Target, the Walmart. It's the mega mall. It is everything all in one place, in one structure. It's large corporations. And so I definitely feel like this is going to be a point in time where we start restructuring. But moving on, the 13th of October, Mercury enters Scorpio. And so our pursuits are definitely going to move to a little bit more psychological and esoteric. So Scorpio, ruled by both Mars and Pluto, BT dubs, is about depth. It's about depth psychology. It's about the occult, what's hidden. And it's also about research and digging below the surface to find the why. Scorpio traditionally rules the 8th house in astrology. And so the 8th house is about going under the surface, into the depths, to bring up what needs to be brought up. So Mercury entering Scorpio is a time where secrets get revealed. And it's also a time where we start to look at information that was previously hidden or occult or unknown to us. So you may, depending on where Mercury is in your chart and where Scorpio is in your chart, you may start to develop an interest in things like astrology and tarot and psychology and neuro-linguistic programming. That would be a very Mercury and Scorpio pursuit. On the 17th, Venus is going to enter Sagittarius, which is kind of fun. It's a love of travel and exploration. And so you're going to love the global. It definitely has a very strong bohemian vibe to it. Venus in Sagittarius is taking bits and pieces of everything and making it one cohesive story. So it really is about a global vision. So you may be drawn to things that are multicultural. You may want to look at other cultures, other countries. This may be also where you have the urge or desire to move or relocate to another country. So you may be stimulated to travel. You may be stimulated to explore. Have a full moon at 24 degrees of Aries at 6:26 in the morning. And it is a full moon in Aries square Mars. So there's a little bit of intensity there. Mars rules Aries. So that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of subconscious energy. And the moon is not happy in Aries all the time. Because the moon wants to express emotions and feel emotions. And it wants comfort. And it wants to nurture. Aries does not want that noise. The moon in Aries has the intrinsic need for independence. And so we are going to be motivated to seek independence. And it may be seeking independence through aggressive Mars. So Mars is in Cancer and it rules the moon. So we do have mutual reception between the two signs. You're still going to have the high energy and you're still going to have the want to be independent, but in a very Mars and Cancer kind of way. So this might be a time where you haul up in your house. This might be a time where you retreat and find comfort by not talking to anybody. It's not a very communicative, and communication that's forced during a moon square Mars can lead to arguments. And then a couple days later, we have the sun moving into Scorpio. And right before it does, it makes the final square that it's going to make to Pluto and Capricorn. So this is the moment that it's going to illuminate what structures are still crumbling. Venus trines the North Node as well. And so this is a very, very karmic time. And then finally for Halloween weekend, the 30th and the 31st, Mercury is going to oppose Uranus, which is retrograde. And it's also going to trine Neptune. So this is going to bring about sudden changes in the weather, especially heavy rain. So you may see some sudden weather changes. Uranus and Neptune, both with Mercury in communication, you may see some surprises and upsets there for trick or treat. And now we're going to look a little bit more in depth at this full moon in Aries on October 7th. So as I said before, the full moon in Aries is at 24 degrees. And it is going to be occurring at 6:26 in the morning. It's going to square Mars. So that means a lot of energy. Even though there's mutual reception between Mars and the moon, people will still be prone to emotional outbursts and a lot more argumentative. It's going to feel like you have to fight for your place or stand your ground in some capacity. Earlier in the day, the moon also activates the eclipse point from the April 8th eclipse at 19 degrees Aries. So if you were born under Saros cycle 30-139, this is going to be a full moon that is going to have you breaking away from generational patterns. There's a lot going on. This is not a social moon. Some full moons are all about like, yay, let's go out with friends, let's communicate, let's commiserate. This is not a commiserating type of moon. This is a moon where if you're working on an individual project, now would be a good time to place your energy and emphasis towards that. If you have work around your home that needs to be done, this would be a good time to do that. If you want to make your home more homey, that's definitely a time to do that. If you just want to go out on a solo hike and enjoy yourself and enjoy the changing of the colors, it's a good time to do that. But yeah, it's definitely not a social moon. And so I would definitely check your own chart to see if you are in that sorrow cycle, because you are going to see where those generational patterns are, and you are going to be able to move away from them, because Aries is all about going your own way. So this is definitely going to be a time when I am going to be doing some work around my house and also separating myself and going on that individual spiritual quest. So that's what I plan to do. What are you guys going to do for the full moon? I definitely would love to know. Now, it's time for the horoscope. I'm definitely going to ask you guys to listen for both your sun sign and your rising sign, because the sun sign tells you how collectively your sign is going to experience the energy, and your rising sign is going to tell you where that energy is going to affect you in your life. All right, let's get going. Hey Aries, here is your horoscope for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your house of partnerships. Secrets may be coming to the surface, and all partnerships will be going through a period of reevaluation for you. If you're in the process of buying a home, you might have some setbacks. Mars is starting to slow down, and it may cause some problems for you. Jupiter retrogrades in your house of the neighborhood, so it may have you reconnecting with some family members, like your siblings or cousins. Pluto stations direct in your career zone. Your career has gone through massive transformation over the last 18 or 19 years. Hopefully, you're exactly where you want to be. If not, 29 degrees of Capricorn is going to help you see what structures still need to be changed. The full moon on the 17th favors any kind of personal transformation. Let it out. This is your time to change it up, reevaluate, and redo everything, anything. This is also a great time to focus on your own personal health, whether it's an exercise routine, a diet, or any kind of personal change. Now's the time to do it. Now, the sun enters Scorpio and sails into your intimate zone, so this could be an intimate month for you going into November. But it also favors investments, assets, and equities. This might be a good time to reanalyze and reevaluate, because the sun always brings opportunity. Hello, Taurus. Here is your horoscope for the month of October. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your house of health. This is a time to reevaluate things. Information is going to be coming to the surface. Take heed. Any changes that you want to make in your diet, exercise routines, or your day-to-day life and routines, now's the time to do it. Jupiter will also have you reevaluating how you earn your money. You may be getting some extra ideas around the 9th, as Jupiter is going to retrograde in your house of earned income. Pluto stations direct in your house of travel, so this could be bringing the trip of a lifetime. Pluto oftentimes brings transformation intrinsically on a psychological level, and it could also be a great opportunity to go back to school, as this house also favors higher education. The full moon on the 17th is in your deepest subconscious sector, so this is going to be the time for you to break any kind of patterns that are holding you back. Sometimes You need to plow forward and forcefully surrender that which is no longer needed. On the 22nd, the sun sails into your partnership sector. So this could be bringing an amazing partnership for you. If you're already in a partnership, things are going to be getting a little bit more intimate with Scorpio. And if you're in a client-based business, this could also be bringing in a new client that could have a high return. Hello, Gemini. This is your October forecast. The eclipse on October 2nd is going to be in your house of joy and love and children. So this could be a time, if you're looking to have a child, now one might be coming. This is also a time for you to embrace joy and have yourself a fun, romantic evening. You earned it. You may also get some tidbits of information you didn't necessarily know. Who doesn't love a little gossip, right? Mars is going to be slowing down in your earned income sector on the 4th, so this is the time that you want to make that final, last-ditch effort to stock up for the cold season. You may have some unexpected expenses when Mars goes retrograde in December. Jupiter retrograding in your house of yourself is the time to refocus on any kind of transformation you want to make. If you're looking to make changes in your health, now is the time to do it. Changes now are going to benefit you when Jupiter goes direct next year. Speaking of direct, Pluto goes direct in your house of intimacy. So on the 11th, you could be having some intimate and really hot evenings. As Pluto traditionally rules Scorpio, this is definitely a time to succumb to pleasure. The full moon on the 17th is going to be in your house of the collective. You are going to be standing up and leading your tribe. So if you are in a group or an organization, you may be called upon to step into a leadership role. The sun sails into your house of health on the 22nd. Use this time and make changes in your routine. Do the research you need to do and make the change. The energy of Scorpio favors transformation. What part of your routine needs to be transformed? Hello, Cancer. Here is your October forecast. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your house and home, so you will definitely be making some changes. If you are looking to move or relocate, now is the time, and you might find an offer that suits your needs. Pay attention to information that you hear from the people around you, because some good deals might be hiding underneath the rug. Your energy might be a little bit low as Mars starts to slow down in your house of the self and the body and your health. Watch your immune system. Also, transformation in your partnerships, as Pluto is stationing direct in your 7th house of the other. So this could be that time where relationships are tested. Some may make the cut, some may not. The full moon on the 17th favors your career, and so you might be stepping into a role that's a leader. If you're looking to start your own business, now might be the time where you want to put the energy and the emphasis on that. The Aries and Mars energy fit to be an entrepreneur. And on the 22nd, the sun sails into your 5th house of love, joy, and children. The sun is oftentimes an indicator of finding joy and finding that special someone. So pay attention during Scorpio season, because that special someone may be coming in. Hello, Leo. Here is your forecast for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is happening in your neighborhood, so you might hear some gossip around the town. You might also get some information from siblings or cousins during this time. Jupiter is retrograding in your house of the collective. So on the 9th, you might start to find yourself pulling back so that you can do some personal exploration. Pluto stations direct in your house of health on the 11th. So you may finally be done with that transformation. There still might be some changes that you want to make. Now's the time to make them, as Pluto favors change. The full moon on the 17th is going to be in your house of higher education and travel. So you might be gearing up to take that solo adventure pretty soon. You may also be going back to school and learning a thing or two. If there's a certification that you need for your job, now would be the time to take that. And on the 22nd, the sun sails into your house of the house and home. So you might find yourself this Scorpio season making some changes and adjustments around your castle. You might be redecorating, or you might be looking for a new castle. Virgo, here is your horoscope for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is going to be in your house of earned income. Information around the job could be bringing you opportunities that you didn't even know were possible. Jupiter going retrograde in your house of the career may bring back an opportunity that you passed up earlier. Pluto on the 11th is stationing direct in your house of children, joy, and ultimate creativity. So you may be finding a different creative outlet and transforming your pain into pure poetry. On the 17th, the full moon sails into your house of intimacy and lights it up. So this may be a time for an intimate evening and also a time to reanalyze your finances. Information that you receive around the eclipse could be helping you make decisions here. And the sun sails into Scorpio on the 22nd, lighting up your neighborhood. So Scorpio season could find you pretty active around the house and reconnecting with siblings and cousins. Hello, Libra. Here is your horoscope for October. This is going to be big. The eclipse on October 2nd is right in your face. This is the ultimate time to make changes and level it up. You will need to let go of something in order to soar. Information that you receive around this time from those around you will help you make that choice. That information might be feedback. It's only meant to help you grow. Jupiter is going to be slowing down in your house of travel on the 9th. If you're looking at making those trips, or if you're looking at going on that exploration, you may just have a couple hangups. Pluto stations direct in your house of the house and home. So this is the time to make a move. Pluto being transformative is going to kick you out. The full moon on the 17th is in your house of the other. So this could be bringing that partnership that you're looking for. If you're in a committed relationship, it may be going to the next level and you may have found your match. The sun sails into Scorpio on the 22nd and it lights up your earned income sector. Scorpio season could be pretty busy, but you know how to hustle and flow. Scorpio, here is your forecast for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your deepest, darkest house. This is a time to break those patterns and negative thinking. You are now in a place where it is mind over matter. Travel and education may have you a little bit bogged down on the 4th as Mars starts to slow down in your house of higher education. Jupiter on the 9th is going to have you reevaluating some of your assets and investments as it crosses your house of intimacy and other people's money. Pluto is stationing direct in your house of the neighborhood. You may find around the 11th that something about your neighborhood has changed. This also could be changing your relationships with siblings or cousins. The full moon on the 17th lights up your house of health and service. So if there is any change that you would like to make to your day-to-day routine, or if you're looking to get out on your own and not have anybody else control your day-to-day routine, now is the time to make those changes. The sun sails into Scorpio on the 22nd, lighting up your house of the self. If there are any changes you want to make in your personal appearance, your health, your body, do it. The universe is smiling at you. Hello, Sagittarius. Here is your forecast for October. The eclipse on October 2nd lights up your house of the collective. You could be finding yourself a new tribe or organization that you will be stepping to the head of sometime soon. Jupiter is really going to have you reanalyzing and reevaluating some of your relationships when it goes retrograde on the 9th. Your house of partnerships, you may have some startling revelations. Pluto stations direct in your house of earned income on the 11th. This is about money, honey. Pluto is all about power and prestige. So in your career, this is a time for promotion, advancements, and getting paid what you're worth. Take it. You own it, Sagittarius. The full moon on the 17th lights up your house of creativity and children. So this is your time to have fun, play, go on that adventure, find that creative outlet, start taking up painting. Or if you're looking for children, this might be the time to put an emphasis there as well. The sun sails into your deepest, darkest secrets on the 22nd. This will be enlightening and illuminating your subconscious. This will highlight anything that needs to be changed in the coming months. Negative patterns, addictions, attachments, it's all of your own undoing. Use the light of the sun and illuminate those cords and cut them. Now is the time to step into the newest and best version of you. Hello, Capricorn. This is your horoscope for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your house of career. This is big changes. You may have to let something go in your career in order to advance where you want to be. Listen to your peers because the information that you hear is going to help you make a decision. Jupiter will be causing you to reevaluate some of your day-to-day routines and also take a deeper look at your health. It's retrograding in your house of health on the 9th. This is the time to start thinking about and putting into motion changes in your day-to-day life and routine. Even though you're all about the money, honey, make it spiritual. Your routine can be a ritual too. Pluto is going direct in your house of the self. If there's any sign that's been through it over the last 18 years, it's you. It has been your time of ultimate transformation, body, mind, and spirit. Look back at how far you've come. How have you evolved? This is your time to revel in that glory and rise like the phoenix. The full moon on the 17th favors doing some decorating around the house, and it also favors finding a new house. So if you are looking for a new house, now is definitely the time. And if you're looking on making any kind of adjustments, improvements, and just beautifying your space, it may help you get out some of that Aries energy. And the sun is going to sail into your house of the collective on the 22nd. The sun in Scorpio for you is all about getting out and being social. This Scorpio season, your calendar will be full. You will be going on more social engagements, connecting with people, finding your tribe, and just getting out and enjoying life. The universe is pushing you in that direction. Sometimes you have to get out of the boardroom once in a while. Hello, Aquarius. Here is your horoscope for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is in your house of higher education and travel. So this could be your time to take that trip. If you're looking at going back to school, the universe is also giving you a sudden opportunity. Information that you needed to know is now coming to the surface. This can also be highlighting legal issues for you. So if you have something that's pending or has been pending, now it will come to a conclusion. Mars is starting to slow down in your house of health. So on the 4th, if you're feeling your energy getting lower and lower and lower, it might be time to start looking at supplementing so that you can maintain equilibrium in your body. Jupiter might be bringing back a past flame in your house of love and fun and children. On the 9th, somebody may be coming back into your life. It might just be for the Jupiter cycle, or it might be to stay. Now, Pluto is going to be stationing direct in your house of the subconscious. Your subconscious and your innermost workings have been going through a transformation over the past 18 years. This is true evolution. The full moon on the 17th favors you connecting with your cousins and siblings. It may be a heated discussion, but a lively one. And the sun sails into your 10th house of career on the 22nd. So your career is lighting up. This is the time where you are going to get accolades for the work that you've done. And this may be an opportunity for a promotion. Hello, Pisces. Here is your forecast for October. The eclipse on October 2nd is opening up your house of intimacy and other people's money. You may be finding yourself connecting on a deeper, more intimate level with your partner. Or you could also be reanalyzing, reevaluating, and giving up some investments that aren't doing you any favors. Jupiter is going retrograde on the 9th in your house of the house and home. So retrogrades can always bring things back from the past. You may be learning something about your ancestry. Either way, it leads to spiritual growth and expansion. Pluto is going direct in your house of the collective on the 11th. Your friends and tribe have been going through a massive shift over the past 18 years. You are now in a position to step into a new tribe that will take you onto this next phase of your life. This could also see you stepping into a position of authority within a group or an organization that you belong to. Take the opportunity. It'll definitely be worth it. The full moon on the 17th lights up your earned income. So this is about making the money. So if you have something that you would like to do to make some extra money, now is the time to put that into motion because it will rein it in. Or if you already have a side hustle, now is a great time to place an emphasis on marketing and pushing that out into the universe. Because what you send out now is definitely going to come back. The sun sails into your house of travel on the 20th. It could have you doing weekend getaways. Travel is definitely going to be highlighted for you this Scorpio season. So I would definitely take advantage of that because it will definitely be worth it. Now, where this is in your chart also deals with education. So take that class because it will definitely serve you well in the future. Well, as you can see, October is really gearing itself up to be a major time of transformation, reevaluation of your relationships, and also your relationship to yourself, and finding balance. It's a great time to start letting go of the unnecessary and preparing yourself for the nodal shift next year. This month's astrology reminds us that change is an opportunity for ultimate growth. And while it may feel intense at times, the end result is so rewarding. And it's a deeper connection to what really matters. So looking ahead at November, it's going to be a really fun month. Guess what's coming up? We have Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going to go into its shadow period in early November, and on the 25th, it stations. This is actually a really early retrograde. Usually they're later. And so we're not going to have that retrograde going into 2025. This is going to be done much sooner than that, and it's just going to be in its shadow, but it is going to be direct. So, and this is the first time in a couple of years that this has happened. So this is a pretty big deal. So I'm definitely going to be covering that next month. And I also have some really fun events coming up. I have a hybrid class that's coming up on the 19th on Chiron. It's a master class. It's like a 3.5 hour, 4-hour master class presenting not only traditional astrology's view of Chiron, but also my own personal research on Chiron in medical astrology. It is, in my belief, a marker for chronic illness. So I definitely have that coming up. And then I also do have a special live and hybrid presentation of the astrology of 2025. We're going to look ahead and see what Pluto and Aquarius has in store for us, what the rest of Jupiter and Gemini has in store for us, and that nodal shift into Pisces and Virgo. So if you guys like what you hear, I encourage you to reflect on this month's energy and how it resonates with you and how it resonates with your personal life and what's going on in your life. Connect with me on social media. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Oracle Brett. You can also find me online at www.oraclebrett.com. I want to hear about your eclipse and full moon experiences. Definitely let me know. I will be responding, and I will be giving little shout outs on these episodes and also on my YouTube channel. You can also find me on YouTube at Oracle Brett. So if you guys have any questions and want to know some small, minute details or have little questions about your chart, I will definitely have episodes where I answer all those for you. I may even do them live, and I may even do like Instagram lives and even TikToks to answer your questions. So I always look forward to sharing this information with you and really empowering you to use it. Because as much of a spiritual tool as astrology is, it is 100% your map to fulfillment. It is your divine blueprint and exactly how the universe designed you to be. So it is a total tool for self-transformation. And I am so glad that I can share it with you. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in November.